Hey, how's it going? Andrew here. Welcome back to catskullGameing. Alright, so let's jump into it. What we have going on this past week is a face-smashing bluster cluck. So the issue is that here in the slide puzzle section, what's happening is that... Alright, so what's happening is that when the slide puzzle is solved and I check it, update nothing populates in the questionnaire. My issue with that is if I play that same exact scene on my laptop, it freaking works. And so in the main game, when it's played, what happens is you go in and this part works. So you can fill out this questionnaire, but then when you do the sliding puzzle, it doesn't work at all. And so I've been going through and I moved all of this, not this script, all of this script on the buttons. I moved everything from the item list, all this stuff onto the buttons, and it didn't work. This code works totally fine as long as it's not coming from this thing. And so I literally have spent all week doing that, just going back and forth between laptop to computer in what little time I've had to try to figure out what the hell is going on. And I think ultimately what's happening is that the item list itself is not being found even though I'm using a unique name. My best guess is because I copied all of these different scenes and they're all inherited from the same scene and then just adjusted, is that it's the same script, is that when I'm trying to get access to the item list in each of these different scenes, something is happening with the signals and it's not being picked up. Because in the so just in this slide puzzle item list scene, when I put in print statements so that they print to the terminal, I don't get item is added. It doesn't go past the if. Sometimes it doesn't even go past the for when I run it. Right, and so we'll get update nothing, and then for I in the list, because there is no list, there's no reason to check for I in. Right, var added items, update, and there's nothing, which is good. There shouldn't be anything because it's empty. So yeah, that's pretty much been my week, is trying to figure that out, and I have not been able to. Let's see. Yeah, come on, go through it. Alright, so, and then, dang it. Oh yeah. In this scene, if Q1 is set, these items are pick upable now. So, worked on that a little bit just to kind of spread out the pain and see what I can get. But that was my big conundrum. One of the other things that I've been doing is I have been using Obsidian. Notion just wasn't really doing it for me. I needed some way to reorganize and try to figure things out. And so I picked up Obsidian just as a way to help me reorganize my thoughts and kind of reorganize what I'm doing. And it was really easy for me to go through and just write down a little chronological story of what happens up until the point where the game begins. And then I'm hoping I can go through and kind of in this same form write down the kind of narrative of what's going to happen in the game as it moves forward. So I'm working on that as well, but time's getting tight. It looks like I have 2 weeks until we move. The 12th is the day that we're thinking we'll get the truck, and then we're going to be making the drive that week. So that whole week is just no update. Maybe I'll have like a nice video with nothing but B-roll of the road. So that's where the game's at. Last week I talked about like what is the fantasy of a puzzle game, and that was this honestly the kind of stuff I've been thinking about. Doing a lot of driving, so that means a lot of thinking, trying to figure out what is going on. And so with this game, one of the things that I was thinking about, because I was having all that trouble with getting those two systems to work together, I've been really thinking like, so what I have now is he has a notebook and he has these questionnaires, and the narrative is saying that the questionnaires are coming from him. And as I was writing out that beginning story, I was like, okay, so the idea is he is part of a crew from space. They're aliens. They come down to have a long-term study of the human race. The accident happens. He loses his memories. He thinks he's only a human. When he doesn't show back up, when it's time to leave, they find him and realize that they can't bring back his alien memories. Everything they've tried, from psychics to drugs, doesn't work. So instead they say, if we can't do it, maybe he can do it himself, and they set up the contrivance of what the game is. That's my idea for what the narrative behind the game. With that narrative, the puzzle, which is in my mind, a memory that he's having that's helping him, that is sparking then these questionnaire answers, but the questionnaires are written by people. How is he getting the answers from his memories? And so there's a disconnect there between the narrative and the gameplay, and I want to destroy that disconnect. So I think I might remove this slide puzzle altogether and instead turn it into a photograph, but that needs to change. So that means that now I need to kind of remove that aspect from the game, change it to a picture, rewrite those scenes that kind of have them just like remember what's going on, and then put them back in and have it narratively make sense. Because right here, this is the part. So he's brow furrows and he concentrates and he remembers his birthday. Oh, wait, for some reason I'm also thinking about this. So instead, when we look at the lock, this note would be a Polaroid. And I'm thinking maybe we go quantization big down small, or something like that. But anyways, this would be a Polaroid. It'd have days of your years. You'd be able to see the picture next to lock, and from there you'd have to figure out, 366 opens it up. That also removes the need to go into that menu. It's all right there. You don't have to mess around with things. It's a little bit more streamlined. I think that might be a little bit better. We then also have this text dump, which I want to maybe have larger and different somehow. We go through that text dump and we can pick up the token, automatic token, and we can read the blurb again. Though I need to change it again so it doesn't say success there and all that stuff. Then we go back into our menu. And so in the chat log, automatic tokens, I need to make it so that updates as well. But, I mean, that's a basic idea of how far it goes. And so, yeah, fixing those things. So that's the idea. Remove that inference, remove that, remove that speed bump, that little hiccup of the slide puzzle, streamline things a little bit, and then get them in the game. So once you get to this point, it should open up this area. It will open up these areas again, and so you'll be able to go back to the old areas that you were at before, as well as some new areas that you'll be able to find the next questionnaire in here. And if you have automatic tokens, you can put them in and drop the art down. And then over in the coffee station, you'll find another questionnaire and some other stuff to mess with, and maybe some things over here. I haven't quite figured all this stuff out. Hopefully when I land and have a little bit more time to put this stuff in, I'll be able to. But that's where it's at. That's the game that's working on so far. Oh. And that's the story of my life. I still trying to keep a couple things front and center in my mind. One is complete this loop. Get these next 2 questionnaires in, get an exit so you can leave, and get an ending. That is the goal, that is the short-term goal, and that needs to be done. 2, there is a trailer competition being put on by a VC company and a publisher that has 30 awards between 100K and 300K. I want to look into that. 3, make it fun. Fun. Have fun with it. I need to remember, have fun with it. Like, not just in the things that you do as you play, but in the gameplay itself. And part of that having fun, I've also been thinking about what can I do to kind of set this apart, to kind of jazz it up, to kind of make it something that when you play it, you're not just like, oh, cool, this is a thing, yeah, click, yeah. But you're like, oh, cool, wait, what? The fuck? Right? I want to evoke that where, like, it draws you in to pay attention. One of the ways I was thinking of doing that is having it so that there'll be, like, single frame flashes of, like, alien face kind of stuff where, like, the disguise drops. Or maybe it's not a disguise, but he just suddenly sees things differently. Reflection of his old memories trying to come back, or having some kind of those kind of moments. But, you know, get that loop done, and then work on the polish, then work on adding those kind of elements in that really help push the game from just a bland expression of mechanics to an actual thing that's communicating visually and mechanically to the player some kind of concepts or ideas. But that's about what I got. Thank you for joining me this morning, because it is early morning when I'm recording this. Please like and subscribe and do all the things. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about that idea. Let me know what you think about what's happening so far. If you have your own ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Because, I mean, I want this to be a communication with other people, and getting feedback now is amazing. Come join me every Sunday at 7, where I stream a puzzle game. I'm currently streaming Lorelei and the Lorelei and the Laser Eye. It's been a ton of fun. I'm really enjoying that game. I hit a slowdown point where I have a couple puzzles I need to just solve and figure out. And then I'm hoping that will open up more of the game about halfway through according to the tracker. But it has been an incredible experience. Really well-written puzzle game. Smart, with lots of things to do and a good variety built into it. So Sunday at 7, come join me then here on YouTube at this channel. Otherwise, I'm gonna go get myself an espresso and start packing up some more of my house. I hope you have a great week. Have a great day, and I'll see you again. Bye! Now all I gotta do is stop recording all the things, 'cause I have so many things plugged in that are recording. I have to click around and click stop.